So, guys, let's continue with the next part. um, so today's guys topic is very much important in terms of this topic is come actually into one of the core of the Ansible, or maybe you can consider core. I mean to say the advanced part, or come into the category advanced topic of the Ansible. Okay, and this concept help Ansible to automate, because you guys know the use of the Ansible, right? Ansible we use Ansible we use mostly for the automation, obviously, right, and the automation of your uh, configuration management part, because a lot of things also we can automate, right? Configuration management is one of the context we use a lot. Okay, but Ansible is used for the automation of the configuration management with the help of, or with the power of intelligence, means the power of REL. That's what, guys, you guys know about the Ansible, right? but but in most of the area, or most of the use case, right, obviously in the Ansible, uh, we get the power from the module, means the package module or the service module. We achieve the automation with the playbook. I think everybody now till date are comfortable with this concept and the vocabulary here, right? But in lots of example, or I can say in a lot of real world example, or maybe in some of the complex example. Complex means the bigger environment or multiple things involved, right? Two things we need, obviously. We need a playbook or the module, but we need some more extra thing, or some more extra component that work with the Ansible to solve some advanced or complex thing in the Ansible. Okay, and one of the great thing that give the Ansible a great support in the terms of writing some complex playbook or some complex code. The name of that component or that tool that work with the Ansible is called Jinja. Okay, so Jinja is one of the you can think, not exactly, but you can think it is like a language, or it is like a framework. If you guys know a little bit about the framework, but you can think it's like a language that work together with Ansible to give some extra power. Sorry, to give the extra power to the Ansible. So today, guys, I would like to invest the entire class or entire day on the Jinja. It's very interesting, very important also. And after knowing the Jinja, lots of advanced complex thing in the configuration management part you can do and you can solve. That's what just want to tell you here is. So today's topic, guys, is Jinja. And even though the yesterday task that I given to you, okay, if you guys remember, the task was almost about the load balancer. So if you have the load balancer, and behind the load balancer, you are going to add a multiple node on the fly. So let's say initially my backend node has IP1. Then if the traffic increase, I have one more node, let's IP2. But whenever you add any node or backend server or web server, you have to update your load balancer configuration file with the help of your CM tool like Ansible. I want my config management tool is very intelligent. What I want in the future, any new web server come up as a backend server for the load balancer, they automatic figure out that the new system having the IP3, or they automatic update the load balancer conf file that the new IP is 3. You don't have to update the config file of the load balancer at the time of the at the configuration management side, or the at the type of at the scene side, means the control node side of the Ansible. So I think this example I'll presented you yesterday. I demo you also. I show you how I did yesterday. Was working great, but that is not the best way to solve it. The best way is as soon as the new node come, it's called scale. or any, if you don't want any new node to, if you want to remove the node, again it's called scale. So if you add new node, it is called scale out. If you remove the node, it's called scale in. Okay. So in any of the case, your load balance or config file automatic update. You don't have to manually change in the configuration file of the load balancer at this side the way I did yesterday. Okay. So this is the problem, or challenge or use case we have today, and we'll solve it very easily. But in this example, okay, we have to first learn the concept called Jinja. Okay, so let's continue, guys. What it is Jinja is. So for to save our time, I already started the um, the cn controller node, and let me do some of the demo in one of my target node. Okay, so let's start from here. Let me go to folder called workstation 7, the or maybe 6. Where it is. This is not the system. This is the system, right? This is a workstation 7. Why they give there? Oh, sorry. I'm creating that folder. I have to go inside, right? So, guys, this is the Docker actually. Workstation 6. So, this is a guy's file we had created yesterday. Okay, but I'll come back to this file and this conf file to give you a better solution, I can say. But before this, let me explain you what is the Jinja is, right? And for doing the some of the demo on the Jinja concept, right? I'm going to use this computer as my 155 as my target node. Okay, so let me start from very basics. So consider, guys, today's topic is about Jinja. You can think and consider in this way. And Jinja is a one topic. it is it is a actually independent tool. It's not at all developed with the Ansible, right? It is a independent tool. And other environments also we use Ansible a lot, but in other technological world also we use a Jinja a lot. So anybody who know anything about web app development, right? And if you do a web app development using, let's say, in Python. So guys, if you know Python, in the Python, there's a lot of framework called Django framework or Flask framework, right? So those framework also use behind the scene Jinja. Like Flask, they use Jinja behind the scene, or maybe some of the part Django use a Jinja behind the scene. So Jinja is an independent tool, independent, like you can think as a language used in other environment also. So anybody who are interested in web technology, development also with Python, most of the framework of the Python use this one. So concept wise, what I'm going to explain you is same for Ansible also, and for web technological or web app development also, right? But topic is Jinja. Okay, so let me start from here. So what is Jinja is, so let me give you one practical demo. You will very quickly understand what is Jinja, right? So my plan is, guys, I'm going to create one new file, let's say j.ofyml, and I would like to run this play or playbook on the top of the IP called 155, because we can directly write the playbook on the one particular IP. And let me run one task, and my task is to upload one file. And you guys know, if you want to upload one file from your control node to target node, you can use a copy module. You guys know, and you tell where you want to upload, and in your local computer, means your control node, where you have a local file. Okay, so let's say my local file is my.txt. So this file I will have to upload, and this file I will create in my own computer in the same folder, or I can give the path where this file created, and I will upload this file in the folder called slash root of this IP, and with the, let's say, name called zz.txt. Very simple, you guys know this, nothing very complex. Okay, very quickly let me show you. So I'm going to create a file called my.txt in the same location over here. So my .txt, and let's say this is Vimal. That's all. So this is my local file in my control node, and this file will upload it to this folder in this IP. One of the simplest code, guys, we have discussed multiple time. So very quickly, let me run this code, j.yml. And if you go to IP 155 root zz.txt, okay, so this file was already here, but you'll see after the playbook run, this file will overwrite. So this file overwrite working great. Okay, there's no challenge. Okay, but you guys know one more thing. Let's say in this playbook, if you create a one variable, right? And guys, this concept I already explained you somewhere, but let me show you one more time. Let's say you have one variable x, and this value is called 5. Okay, um, or maybe this value would be, let's say, Vimal. X is variable and Vimal. And what I'm going to do in my local file, in my local file, that's called my.txt. Instead, I give the name Vimal here. Like I know this Vimal is a name stored in a variable called X. So let me use the X value here. Okay. So what I wanted before this file upload, my Ansible come to this file, and whenever they find this variable, they will replace the value of this variable to Vimal. That's what I want. But you guys know it won't work because you guys know already I've shown this one of the example like this. So copy module, guys, never go inside this file. For the copy module, this file is a static, means whatever content you write in this file, they upload here. So they upload X here. Okay. Why they upload X here? One of the reason is, right? One of the reason is we use mm, copy module. Copy module, guys, again, they never go inside this file. I can use one word here. Copy module never process or parse this file. So if you write a variable, if you don't write a variable, it won't help us. Okay, but for that is the reason, instead of copy module, you guys know we use a module called template. The good thing about a template module is they always parse this file. Okay, they always parse this file. It means if I run my code again, what happens now? You see, when I run my code again, okay, template module go to this local file. Which file? This file. They parse this file. Okay, and what the interesting thing about the template module is, right? Interesting thing about the template module is that we have to notice here. Okay, the template module. 1 minute. This template module. Okay, upload this file to this file at this IP is called remote upload, right? But before the upload, they go to this file, and what template module do, right? They try to parse this file. What I mean by parse or process, they go to every word, every character, every place, every pointer of this file, and look for something. Look for something. Look for some kind of a special keywords. Okay, and what template module found, there is no special keyword here. Because they found there is no special keyword here, so what template module do, they upload this file exactly the way the copy module upload. There is no change here. Okay, and there no change here. By chance, you and me, we are, as a human being, we know we know this X is a variable. We know this here. Ansible no by chance X is a variable, but here we know we wanted to use X, but template module doesn't know that we wanted to use X here. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you here is, right, if you want to tell the template module that this X is not the normal X, is not a normal character, or is not a normal string, I can say, okay, this X is a special thing. For me, it is a variable. To tell this about this thing to the template module, we have to use some special symbol that help template module to tell from here, in this string, in this file, in this paragraph, on this line, some variable start coming up. Okay, not the variable. Okay, okay, we can tell other things also. So we can tell the template module, for example, if I go to this file, and let's say your intention is in this file, where it is format. In this while, maybe you want to use some kind of if loop, sorry, if condition, or maybe you want to use if or else, or maybe somewhere you want to use for loop, or maybe you want to use while loop. Okay. So as a developer, I want to use if or else here. Okay. But if I want to use this file and try to run the my playbook again. Okay. But what template module do? According to template module, they don't consider these guys as a what I say. They don't consider these guys as a. Let me show you this file first. For them, everything is string. Everything is a string. They upload as it is, exactly the same. Why? Template module has a capability by chance to run for loop or while loop or if or else or variable or print the value of the variable. But for this, you have to tell the template module that this X or those four and all the things are some kind of my programming. In the programming world, this keyword is called constructor. So these are my some internal construct for us. And for this, we have to use some special symbol called curly braces start and curly braces close. Okay, you have to start with curly braces start and curly braces close. Okay, but depend what you want to present to the template module. Okay, so if you want to tell to the template module this X is just a variable and I want you use this variable and print the value of the variable, then inside this curly braces you have to use one more curly braces. It means if you use two curly braces, by this symbol you're telling the template module the X is a variable and I want you print the value of the X. And that's what guys we already use in some of my other older example. But you don't want to tell this is X, this is some other constructor like for loop. So again, we have to use some curly braces, but to tell it is a for loop, okay, then we have to use other symbol. So instead of this curly braces, you have to use symbol called percentage. So if you use percentage, it means you are telling to the template module, right? Whatever we write inside is not a string. They have a special construct. They have a special meaning. For example, this is not a for string. It is a for loop, or it is a if, or it is a else, something like this. Okay. Or guys, maybe in the language, sometimes we write a comments, right? For example, right now, mostly in most of the language, if you want to tell this is nothing is as a comment, right? You write this symbol comment. So let's say your requirement is to write some comment here. Okay, but if you run this playbook for the Ansible, okay, whatever you upload, maybe with the help of template module, template module, they will upload exactly same, right? Whatever type. See here, everything uploaded. If I don't want, I want I whatever I want in this file. I want this line, whatever I start with a hash, it should be commented. I don't want template module upload this. They will consider it as a comment, the way we use in the programming world. Okay. So again, to tell this, we have to start everything in the curly braces. To tell this is the comment, we have to use other symbol. I think has the use. Right. So technically, what I'm talking about, template module is just a module from the Ansible. Interesting thing is they upload this file from a remote location. But beautiful thing about template module is they have a capability. Okay, before they upload, they parse the file, and parse means they are looking for these symbol. This one. Maybe they might have more. This one, right? And if they find this symbol, so before this symbol and after this symbol, they consider everything as a string. As a string. Okay. So what you write before this, or what you write after this, they won't touch those character and they exactly upload this. But whatever they find between these symbols, they process it. Depend if you write one curly braces, they treat as a variable, they print it. They want percentage here, they treat as a for loop, the way you use for loop or if loop. They process it, and what are output we get of this one, what output we get those one, those output they upload to the remote system. Those output they upload to this remote file. So very quick one example. Let me show you that example we already discussed somewhere. Okay, so in this file, I would like to tell my template module that this is the string don't touch add is upload, but this X I want you have to touch, you to do something. So for this, you have to start the thing from the curly braces and with the curly braces. But what is X? Is for loop, if loop, or some variable. I would like to say this is variable. Let me use one more curly braces here. Means two curly braces, start and end. Or maybe after this, bye, take care, something like this. Now, interesting thing is, if you talk about the Ansible perspective, Ansible perspective, right? Or I can say Ansible especially template module, right? They go every character here, 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 here. They don't see any curly brace start, but as soon as they start, curly brace start. Okay, if you notice here, there's one space also here. They also consider space also character. So this part, the edit is upload. Again, after the curly brace closed, again we have two space here, and this part the edit upload. But between this two part, whatever you write, exactly whatever you write, all any of the space you give, they try to find a variable name, and when you find the variable name, right, they find the value maybe from the playbook, or maybe get the variable value from the fact or factors that we already discussed, right, and get this value and print this value. And after they get this value, they will return, I can use better word, would be return this value or print this value here is in this person, and then upload this part. And all the name part, this is one more new line here, this one new line here, this one, and all these things, because they don't have any curly braces here, they upload as it is, exactly the same. Okay, so now in this example, if you if I again run the playbook, what you will see, okay, what you will see, this was an older file, my playbook is still running, now it's done. You can see this part. See here, before the v1 we have exact one space, after v1 we have two space, right? All the content they treat as a string, and only this part they process, the parse, and they print it for us. Why? Because for the template module, this is the curly braces they come up. But guys, you know what? Template module is just a module name, right? It's just a module name. Behind the template module, they are using these. You can think these are the one of the keywords. These are the keywords. They're using this keyword uh, to to uh, to tell, or these are the keyword to tell the template module, or I can say template module are sensing this keyword, checking this keyword, and doing something. And if you want to do something, you need some kind of language. Most probably, I can say you need some kind of framework. So what I'm talking about, there is a one framework available in the market. Okay, this framework use actually these keywords, and these actual keywords or this syntax actually come from, or this sometimes also known as preprocessors, come from come from that particular framework or that particular language. And the language is called Jinja, Jinja. Or mostly we have a latest version called Jinja 2. So, or we can say normally it has Jinja 2 framework. So these keywords actually come from Jinja 2 framework. Okay, and the beauty of Jinja 2 framework is, if you ever guys work on any of the programming language, okay, any of the programming language. For example, let's say if you ever work guys on Python language, for normally we create a code in the Python. In the Python, we have a keyword called print. And the print we write, let's say hi. We write one more keyword x equal to 5. In the print, we write one more keyword called print hello. Very simple code of Python language. But normally, if you use any of the programming language, maybe Python, C, Java, in those programming languages, you can only use the keyword supported by that language. But in this programming language, if you wanted to use some kind of random characters here and say, hi, this is Vimal. Okay. So you know what? If you try to run this kind of code, maybe if you guys know how to run the Python code. So if you try to run this code, fail. Let's say, what is your write? I don't understand. I don't understand what exactly you're typing here. But I just want to tell you Python that Python, this is just a string. If you think you don't understand, don't process it, just print as it is. Or whatever string keyword you understand, just process those things and give me the output. Python say no, or C say no, Java say no, or Scala say no. They say you have to only type those keywords that I understand. I don't understand this, you can't type. Maybe you can put the comment, that's a different point, but you can't type directly. But some of the languages in the market that has a very interesting concept. One of the example is Jinja. Okay, Jinja, that has a capability. Okay, so what a Jinja has a keyword. With this keyword, you can directly type your own string. Whatever you want to type, you can type it the way I showed you here. The way I showed you here. So example, my intention is to create this file as Jinja language. So in this language, I type any of the string here randomly. Okay, good thing about Jinja is they neglect all things and they print as it is, because they said this is not my thing, my keyword. So I don't, I am not considering this guy. I just print it as it is, print is as it is. Okay, but whenever I use my keyword, when I see my keyword, I will process those. So that's a great thing, right? And this concept, guys, we use a lot. If you guys ever anytime work on web technological world, okay, so normally in the web technological world we use this concept a lot. Okay, and this concept is normally known as embedded. Normally what we do, we write some text, and between our text we write some language code. And one of the good example for this kind of language in the market called PHP. So any of you guys if you ever work on PHP, we use this concept a lot, where between the HTML we write some PHP code, and multiple places we write the code to do something, right? So in PHP, if you guys ever know Ruby, in the Ruby also is called embedded Ruby or ERB, we use, right? Similarly, Python also have this support. So between the normal string, normal text, normal paragraph, if you want to write some Python code, so Python also have that support, and that support Python take from a language or from a framework called Jinja. So technically, guys, Jinja is just a framework, or I can say just a library from the Python. Normal Python don't have the support, but Python has extra library that give you support of embedded. Embedded support means between the text you can write wherever you want. You can type for loop, if loop, variables, but you have to use these symbols to tell from here variable start, variable end. From here for loop will start, for loop end. Before this, after you have normal text, so we don't have to worry about your text. So I'm embedding my code, my keyword or constructors behind between your normal paragraph or normal sentence or strings. Okay. So Python is a language. Python has a library to give a support embedded code with the help of library, or I can say sometimes known as framework. So that is a reason, guys. If you guys ever work on Python, so in the Python web technological world, we use Jinja a lot. So if you search for Jinja 2 templates, okay, so you get some link about the Jinja or Jinja document, language Python, model for Django, and other way also we use. So full stack development, web development, we use Jinja a lot. Okay, so this thing, and if you just go to some of the document of Jinja, you'll find this uh, kind of keyword that I explain. Maybe there might be more keyword in the Jinja we use, but we are not into the web technology development. We will focus some of the keyword of Jinja that very commonly used in the Ansible world. Okay, and one of the example is that I've used already in one of my classes is this one. But there's some more keyword we can do. So for example, let me clean this code. Oh, sorry, my text. Okay, let's say this is Vimal. I know this Vimal value is there in the variable, so I say this is X. Same thing, right? So this X is coming from one of my variable. And let me, if I run my playbook, this will upload to your the system, right? You pretty straightforward upload here. Okay, but by chance, by chance, this variable is there in this file, and in this file, uh, X is just a variable contain only one value. But maybe, guys, sometimes some variable normally contain multiple values. Let's say Vimal, let's say Pop, let's say let's say Harry. So if you have any variable that contain multiple value, normally this variable in the language called array or the list. Because this is a YAML language, so in the YAML language, if X is a list, and these are the item and these are the values. So normally item and values, normally we write, or not normally is a syntax, we are write in this way, hyphen. We don't have to use equals to, comma here. We have to start second item with hyphen. Then you guys, you know this part, we already discussed some of the classes. So in this example, X is a variable and has 3 items. So X become list, but technically X is a variable. And because X is a variable, and if you go to my text file that I would like to upload, here I'm using X as a variable. So guys, if in any of the language, if you print array or the list, they will print normally, right? So if I run my playbook, what happened, what you will see, if I run my playbook, because X is a variable and I'm asking my Jinja template or my template module to print X, they print for you. Or because X can by some 3 values, so 3 values they print, and because they print 3 values, so my target computer, okay, this 3 will come as here. And normally it look like as 3 value in a square bracket, by chance they print for you. So it's come of 3. But my requirement is not this one. I want to print all the 3 value. Okay. But my requirement is to print the value like this. And now for me, guys, some interesting concepts start coming, right? So I would like to print the value like this. This is Vimal. This is next name is what? Pop. This is Harry. So I want my final output look like this. Okay. And by chance, my final output, I have 3 lines. But if you have more name, more lines come up. Okay. So technically, I don't want to print the output like this. I want this is Vimal, the new line. This is Pop, new line. This is Harry, and the new line. And how much line they print depend how much how much uh, value you have in the X. Maybe you have, if you add more value in the future, I don't know, maybe in the future some more value come up somewhere, maybe Chris, for example. So so I want they have one more new line come up. This is Chris. Okay. But if you notice, guys, here, if you are requiring this, right, in this requirement, first of all, if you see this is common. So if anything is common, guys, what can we do? We can tell this is you have are just a string, print yourself 4 times. And guys, in any of the language, if you want to do something again and again, normally you use a loop. But which loop? Normally we have for loop, while loop, the two kind of loop normally we have in the language. But if you have this kind of requirement, right, you have to print yourself multiple times, 4 times, 10 times, but I don't know how much time. It's all depend upon how much items we have. So 4 items, print 4 times, here 2 items, print 2 times, here 3 items, print 3 times. So that's called iteration. And guys, if you use if you want to use any of the mostly in the language, any kind of iteration, right, normally we use for loop. So here, guys, this can be solved with the for loop. So how can we solve, right? We can do in this way. And by chance, guys, if you know Python, let me first show you how we normally write the for loop in the Python. So this is a Python 3 I'm launching here. Let's say I have a database of, of multiple students. Let's say a multiple name. A is one of the item, B is one of the item, C is one of the item, okay, and D is one of the item. So this is the list we have. What happened? Let me put comma here. Okay. And if you have a requirement, you want to retrieve first one, print, retrieve second one, print, retrieve third one, print. So in the Python, maybe cell scripting, we use for loop and say go in this DB as a list, pick first value, store in X as a variable, and then print X. That's all. So for loop run 4 times, they pick first one, second one, third one, fourth one, keep on doing, putting a loop and print is this. But here, guys, I'm asking us for print. But if you don't want to print, you also want to write this is the comma. Okay, or maybe plus, depend, guys, multiple things they support. So because this variable has 4 items, 4 times they run, so this string is fixed. So they print 4 times and they keep on changing value of X. X means first one, second one, third one, fourth one, all the index they retrieve and print it. So very straightforward code. Maybe almost everybody know about Python, or if you don't, even though if you don't know, you might understood this syntax. So guys, this is a pure Python language. Or because Jinja is based on Python, so Jinja syntax is almost look like Python. So what can we do? We can tell my this file that X you are a variable, but technically you are a list. Okay, So what I'm going to do, our plan is to print this is fixed. Okay, this is fixed, but I want to keep on retrieving your value and print here. So for this, I'm going to use for loop, and I'm going to tell my for loop go in x variable. X is one of the variable. Retrieve first item and store in variable, let's say j. Okay, and j. And the first item is stored in the j. So whatever value of j I want, you print here. That's all. And guys, normally in the Python we have to follow indentation here because we can write the code anywhere. So there's no meaning of the indentation you have to use here. So when I run this code, for loop go to x, that particular variable, or maybe very, if you want to make it a little bit more clear, let me, instead of x, we use a variable called db. Let's look pretty clear. So db is a variable, go and retrieve all the items one by one. Okay. So go to db as a variable, retrieve first item and store in a variable, let's say I. And what a value of I, just use it. Or because this kind of four item, four time you run, four time this is print, and whatever respective value they print for you. So guys, let me show you how it works and what the output it um, it sent to the final remote system. Okay. So I is undefined. So guys, this one error come up, but technically, you know what? Even though if it work, they won't give you proper output. Why? Because because I told you template module behind this use Jinja, and the Jinja has their own pre-processors. And according Jinja, yeah, in this case, they treat four as not four constructor or four keyword. They treat four as a normal string. They will finally print for you. By chance, I is not there anywhere because Jinja don't treat this guy as a variable. So they give me error I is undefined. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, I'm trying to tell you here is to tell Jinja or the template module, this four is a Python keyword or Jinja keyword as a loop. You start with where is calibraces, sorry, and with calibraces. But between this we don't have variable. We have a for or if loop, or so if condition. You restart with percentage and end with percentage. That's all. That's how it work. Okay. Now, according to Jinja, they feel this is uh, this is the normal for loop. Now, if I run my code, let's see what happens. Now again, guys, some new kind of error come up. They say Jinja won't look good, and some kind of keyword else and for they're trying to give you some hint what kind of error, some kind of error in my code. Why we have error? First off, this is a good thing. The error is coming. It means why error is coming. It means template module is actually going to this file and try to run this file. And if you run somebody, then only error come up, right? There's a good thing, something is happening. Okay, but error is coming because we might have some syntax mistake. And what mistake we have? I told you guys the good thing of Jinja module is we can write our normal text. For example, welcome to Linux world, some symbol, some hash symbol. Okay, we can write something. Okay, and we can type. The good thing is we can type anywhere. We can type here also. We can type here also. Okay, the point here is okay, the good thing about the Jinja or any kind of embedded or web embedded language is we can type any text as any HTML tag, any normal text anywhere, and between anywhere we can type our code. Okay, and now because we can type anywhere my code, okay, and so technically how Jinja come to know where for loop we start? They know with this symbol, for loop we start here. The for loop or if for else, right, they whenever write if for while loop other things also, they have a block of code in the for loop or for if or else. We can write multiple lines. For example, this is the one of the line of my for loop, or maybe this is the one of the line of for loop, and maybe this is the one of the line of for loop. Okay, so how my Jinja know the for loop block of code or suite of code start from here and here? How they come to know this new line is not belong to for loop, or this line is not belong to for loop. To tell that for loop or if or else their block of code and here, let's say and here. Okay, so this is two line belongs to for loop. To tell this and block means this here the for loop, and we have to use a symbol again, the curly braces start, a curly brace close again with the percentage start, percentage close, and for this we have a special keyword here called and for. That's all. Okay, similarly if you use if, then we have to call and if. It means anything that is start and anything that come in between. By chance we have two lines, because by chance we have two lines, let me use these lines, let's say this is Linux world something. Two lines come up. Okay, and then two line is a block of code or suite of code of this for loop. So because this for loop run four times, why? Because this DB is a variable list contain four items, they run four times, so four times they will print for you. So then four times this block will run for you. Now let me show you this code. Now I think this will work for us. And this is actually concept of for loop. Sorry, a Jinja template. That's all. There's no error come up. And finally, if you see the output of this file, last output was this one, but now if you see, now output look like this. So guys, if you notice here, okay, from a main file, okay, this line from here till this new line, they won't touch. They print exactly the same. If you see here, if I try to compare with this text file, from here till the find any curly brace start, they don't touch as it they print. And after this, if the curly brace close, after and for, from here till here, they print exactly the same. See here, they print exactly the same. But whatever you write, between the for start and for loop, and these two lines print multiple times in the loop. How much time? Depend how much value they have. So you see here, because we have four values, so they run four times. One time, two times, three times, four times. Or because I use variable here, and this variable getting the item from the loop, so they print one Vimal Harry Chris. The way I explained my for Python code also. So I value come from DB, and DB has four values, they come from four. And by chance, if somebody say no, I have now two items. Now I have two items. So for loop run two times. Now you don't have to change your a file that you want to upload. You don't have to change. Just run your code, and all the item you have in a DB, or all the item you have in a database, or all the number of items you have, Ansible will automatically get from there an automatic process for you. And then dynamically they find now we have two value, so they will run the loop two times. Because they run the loop two times, so final output we will get only two values here. Two will come out. So this is the syntax of the Jinja. Okay. Similarly, if you want to use if, you can use it. So guys, this is a main core concepts about the Jinja. But if you want to know more about Jinja, you will find a lot of templates or a lot of document of the Jinja. You will get some more example about the Jinja, or maybe some more syntax about the Jinja. Okay, so but these are very commonly used a concept of the syntax of so of the Jinja. Okay, but there might be some more as and when we require, we will discuss in the future. But but most probably I think you guys now understood how to use the Jinja and loop and other things also. Okay, and now after you understood how to use Jinja like this kind of variable we use. Okay, now we can solve our actual use case, okay, of the load balancer. Okay, so now we can apply this concept on the top of load balancer. But before this, I wanted to show you one more thing. I want to tell you one more thing. In this file, let me a little bit clear this file. What I do? Nothing. Let me clean this file. Or let me remove all these lines. Okay. And I said this is this is. So between this, you have to use some variable. This variable should be somewhere. Either you create or this variable come from Ansible fact. But this variable should be available. Otherwise, they will fail. But right now, access is not there. They will fail. So this variable should be there, right? Okay. This is one thing. But there is some more variable that is not variable created by you. This not variable come from the Ansible fact. What is Ansible fact? We have already discussed in my last classes, right? But there's some variable that is not come from fact. That's not variable you have created. Some variable provided by the Ansible controller node, I can say. Okay. And one of the variable is, you guys know this file. Okay. In this file, you guys know this is one of the line. This is one of the line. It's called inventory database, and you know what this is called host group. Okay. And you guys can give any host group any name. But guys, whatever name you give, this name is also work like a variable. Okay. And this variable is stored in a special array called groups variable. What I mean by this, let me write here. And this is very useful. This is very useful. So Ansible behind the scene, because there's concept called host group, we know we can create multiple IP and put into one group. So Ansible has created one special variable called groups variable. This is one variable name. Okay. And whenever you create any group name, this group name is become one of the item of this group variable. My LB is one of the item of this group variables. What I mean by this, let me show you. So what I'm doing here in my this text file, sorry. Okay, let me use a variable called groups variable. And guys, this variable is not at all available in my Ansible facts, and it is also not available in my Ansible. This variable we haven't created yet. Okay. And let me run my Ansible playbook. What you will see. Let's see. So groups is a pre-created variable. Okay, they go to Ansible inventory file, because Ansible know where their inventory file is, and they find there's a two group name. They have my LB or my W, my web, and because this file I would like to upload, I am uploading here. So finally, you see, they upload all the files. And if you notice one thing very interesting, okay, in Ansible, okay, these are the groups we have created with these two values. This group we have created with this value. And guys, till now in my initial classes, we are keep on using the all keyword. All is also pre-internal group name of the Ansible, and they contain all the IP in your inventory file. And that is, guys, that is the reason we are keep on using all in our in our group. And there's no IP available there in the group. All the IPs belong to any of the group. But if you have any IP that's not part of this group, in this group, they come in ungrouped. But finally, what I'm trying to tell you here is Ansible has this variable pre-created. Okay, and this variable they won't take from the Ansible facts, because Ansible facts always come from the manage node. This variable they take from the controller node. And now, because this group has one more, if you guys know any of the programming language, so normally we have hashes or multi-dimensional array or associative array, or like in dictionary we have in the Python. Okay, so this is one of the key or the main array, and this key also have value. This is also one of the key. This also value. So if you only want to print this key, so what can we do? So we can write here in the square bracket, and one of my key is my web. So because I am only interested to print the value of this key, means there's two values. Okay, so finally, if I run this again, so what you will achieve Okay, you will get this one. Only value that's coming this way. And because my web, if you again notice here, my web contain some value, and this some value is two value because there's more than one value. So there's a list. If you see a list, and because this is list, so we can apply the for loop on the list. So what can we do? We can write something like this. So we say this is IP, or we can write a for loop in the top. For I in and who is your array? Array is this one, right? This contain some value, maybe 2 or 3 or 10, maybe one. Array. Or because this is a for loop, I can start with curly braces percentage, and with curly braces percentage curly braces. I want my for loop close here. I will close with curly braces percentage curly braces, and for. And this is one of the array or list. One of the item here, by chance, one of the item here is the first IP, second and this one. So this item is stored in this example in I variable, or because I is the variable and you want to print here, so you can use. So finally in this group, and technically this group guys is group come from inventory. So in your inventory, if you're 2 IP, 2 times they run. If your inventory in this group you're 10 IP, 10 times they run. 10 times they run this line. This fixed, but they keep on printing the different IPs here, whatever come in this group. So if I run this again, run this again, and again we are slowly moving to a very interesting concept that can solve our yesterday use case. Now what you see here, finally this line will print. An interesting thing is, interesting thing is, now we have two different files. This file is a pure Ansible playbook. This file is the one that we are uploading. Okay, but this file that we are uploading, okay, is uploading by this playbook. So again, this playbook is running this file, but this file is getting the value not from the facts, not from the variables. They are getting the value from the inventory and from inventory in this group. It means in this inventory group, if you if you add some more few IPs as inventory or the inventory database, let's say one or let's say two, okay, without changing anything in the playbook or the file that you're uploading, okay, what you will see here, just by changing the inventory database and run your playbook, run your playbook, what you will see. Okay, because some more new IP added in the playbook, okay, and all IP automatic figure out by your playbook from the inventory and the upload and the update in this file. That's interesting thing, right? Now, why so interesting? This particular code is why so interesting. Now let's come to our main use case. This will explain you why this concept is very interesting. Let me first share this code to you. But guys, before I'll come to a main use case solved by all these explanation. Lots of things we can do. Even though after I explain you today's interesting use case, you can apply this use case with Kubernetes, with cloud, and integrate with Jenkins, if you guys know CI/CD tools. Lots of advanced end-to-end automation platform you can build. But here Ansible will play a vital role. Okay, before this, let me tell you guys one announcement here. Okay, most of the guys might know this one, but maybe some of the guys from last couple of days is asking me in the Q&A, so I thought to give this announcement, because this is the Red Hat official training. So guys, as by chance guys, everybody here are into the Red Hat official training is called Red Hat 294. So a lot of Earth student over here who are doing some extra program for me. It's a journey it's a different program altogether here. And we open this Ansible Reddit official program for open public also. So a lot of officials or corporate guys are also a part of this program. Okay, so so guys, because this is a Red Hat official program 294, and almost every company has a some process to certified um, after they will go to these official program. So they have the global certification. I think you guys know Microsoft has, Cisco has, and Red Hat also have, right? And from last couple of years, Red Hat has some global program coined as RSCE, and the content of RSCE is come from 294 because last year they updated. Okay, after the Reddit 8 come up. So in RSC, the entire contents come from 294. That's you guys learning here. And last couple of years, RSC normally ranked number one global certificate program in the market, right? Lots of region, the practical examination or real examination, real scenario based examination. You have to perform the, it's not like objective type. They give the scenario, you have to create a playbook and set up the entire environment, and hundreds of things is there. Okay, but if you go to the to the all the certification provided by Red Hat. Okay, they have RSC. After RSC, they have some more advanced paper called RSC Architect, that has a specialized paper in in Puppet, in Ansible, in security, in the container securities, OpenShift, and satellites, and tons of things is there, right? Okay, but even though there are a lot of specialized program, very useful, no doubt. Okay, but even though RSC has a huge value in the market, in the terms of getting a great profile, in the terms of getting a proper project, so maybe in the job and other way area also we use a lot. So anybody who would like to do and implement their career or pursue their career in the DevOps world, Ansible is no doubt very useful. And if Ansible is useful, so mostly it has been asked, it has been asked that have you a global, uh, are you certified from Red Hat or not in the global examination? Okay, so Red Hat guys has the global examination that normally tagged as EX294. Okay, so technically after this program, even though guys, what are content of this program, if you try to compare whatever we are discussing here, there's a lot of topic. It is not the part of your official program, maybe Docker, maybe HA proxy, maybe AWS cloud. We have discussed a lot of extra content for extra knowledge, but whatever content guys we are delivering here, that is more than enough to prepare for this global examination. And after this program complete, normally those candidate who are going for the global examination, I will do a exam boot camp, okay, from the Linux world side. And that exam boot camp normally free for all this all the Linux students, so we don't have to charge, we don't charge for this global examination. And according to my knowledge, as my team said, and at the time guys you register with this training, almost everybody has registered with this examination. So almost the student from Earth and any students come outside, most of the guys already been registered in this Red Hat examination. Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you here, because a lot of guys asking how we prepare for the examination. Okay, first of all, it's very valuable examination, but after this training complete, I'll take extra examination boot camp that is more than enough to prepare you guys for this global examination. But I just want to tell you one thing. Maybe you guys might not might don't know, because because of this COVID situation from last couple of months, Reddit is giving very open, very interesting offer, right? So right now, what you doing is a authorized virtual training, right, by the Red Hat, and I'm the one of the Reddit instructor, certified instructor. So I'm delivering this training. Okay, but guys, according to Reddit, whatever virtual training you do, and a Reddit authorized program that you're doing right now, okay, it's not a classroom. Classroom training guys normally come with I don't know, a very till date a very cheaper price. But whatever we do as a virtual training from the Reddit, if you see the Reddit portal, I already opened for you. 1 minute is so this training guys you are doing right now. Okay, 294, and they are very high in price. And this is not my, this is a Reddit site, LMS portal, 54,000 rupees, right? So this I want to tell you. We tried also from our side also to make this training as cheap or as lower as we can. I think you guys know on what price you have registered. But one more thing I just want to tell you, right? VT is a different product from the Red Hat. Red Hat, but there's one more product in the Red Hat called VC. So this is an independent product from the Reddit. It's called virtual. I don't know, some virtual classroom or something like this, right? I think virtual classroom maybe, or video classroom maybe. Okay, so this is a product from the Red Hat. Okay, and here guys, Reddit has their own cloud or own virtual labs. Okay, and here they give you around 80 or 90 days of the labs. Okay, or maybe some hours of the labs, and plus some of the recorded classes from directly from the Red Hat US instructor, plus their official books and contents. So tons of things they provide you in this product. So even though if you search in the Reddit portfolio and RH VC, so this is a different product from the Red Hat. It's come up, and I think this also come with a very high in price, that is that is around 45,000 around, right? In Indian currency, right? uh, and this product also guys come with a Red Hat examiners. Okay, so why I'm telling this guys, because okay, anyone, if you see guys, 54 plus 45 around 91 lakh rupees, right? So I think before we launched this program, we told you any of the open batches, right? Anybody who come as open market, right? That you guys might, a lot of guys are doing here. Okay, you don't have to pay this much amount. Okay, I think I don't know exact, but around 20,000 rupees plus taxes, approximate. You get entire virtual classes, labs, plus the official content, plus the virtual training that we are doing here. Plus the interesting thing is global examination. And second interesting thing is this global exam come with second attempt. So all these things, guys, I think most guys already registered with us here, just in 20,000 rupees. That's what I want to tell you. So because why I'm trying telling you, because you guys already registered, but you should know what the what level of content Red is providing you. So we haven't allocated yet the VC labs for you. Okay, because I'm just waiting to have a proper content to be covered. So I'll tell my team. Those guys, I'm especially telling to the one who come in open market, right? So we haven't allocated this VC labs to you, but soon, maybe this week, by the end of this week, everybody will have their own VC labs where you have all the 90 labs. They will provide exam browser. This will we have a validity of 1 year. After my bootcamp complete, you can go for examination anywhere, anywhere, because nowadays they are offering the remote examination. You can sit anywhere to give this examination, and second attempt also. So everything is there, so you don't have to pay anything. That's the different point. But these are the lot of things. Reddit normally sell this product extra, this extra, examination also extra. All right, sometime labs also extra, everything come, you don't have to pay extra. Those guys who have registered initially with us, I think 18-20,000 rupees somewhere around. Okay, but one more information I just want to tell you, this information is for the earth student. Okay, actually these are the so much cost Reddit take for all the thing. Especially the examination part, because examination normally come with 16,500 if you only go for examination. Okay, only go for examination. So anybody who are here in from the earth program, okay, as a Linux world, we are giving you lots of sponsorship here. Okay, again I'm repeating, we haven't I think told this part to you. As a earth learner who are in our earth journey, we have, because this journey is for some purpose, uh, Linux world guys has sponsored you a lot in your examination. Okay, So training we are doing here, we are doing here. uh, and interesting thing is, training is always the part of earth, but this product, we never committed to the earth, guys. We never committed. Okay, and this product guys cost, I told you, around 45,000. So we are entirely sponsoring this product to you, right? I think all Preeti ma'am know better, but I think almost all the features we sponsor, and I think almost 50% students we already enable this product, and the other student guys we will enable this product soon. Very interesting, because you are having the official labs of the Red Hat, plus exam also giving, we are giving to you. Maybe I don't know about second item, but examination we are also providing to you. And you don't have to pay extra, but we sponsor a lot. Maybe I think maybe 8,000 rupees, if I'm not wrong. And thus you don't have to pay in fund upfront per month. We are asking you per month 1,000 rupees, something like this, right? So that's what we are trying our best to support as much as we can to the earth land. Okay, so main actually I started from here. So exam bootcamp guys, soon we will start after the this course complete, right? But by the meantime, those who will have the labs come up, now we have a lot of content cover. And after guys lab come up, or your this portal come up, you will download your official guide from the Reddit, and this guide will look like this. Okay, is a official update guide of Red Hat. Okay, so everybody who are the part of um, this this process, right? They will get this guide, and this guide has a lot of content, a lot of labs, and this labs you can practice in the Reddit labs. So most of the topics, guys, we have covered already, like variables we discuss, facts we discuss. Today we are discussing our Jinja copy uploaded module. So most of the topics, if you go up and down, maybe in this order, maybe not in this order, but we have discussed most of the topic from this Reddit official guide. So I suggest those who will get this, or already got this, or they will get this, just try to read this, try to solve all the labs here. Okay, maybe you'll see some of the topic is not yet covered, but I'm using my own own steps and process. But yeah, by the end of this program, you'll see everything to be completed, will be completed. Okay, it's an official guide. You can't share, guys. I'm again telling you, means it's official norms. This is official guide, and everyone will have the guide tagged with their name. So if you see here, this is Vimal Total and Expert. So it's not officially or legally allowed to share this guide. Is the not my rule, is a Reddit rule, right? So because this guide is tagged with your name, so don't do this. Okay. So let's continue, guys. Let's go for last discussion for today. Okay. So discussion is how we can implement this Jinja and solve our use case. So finally, our use case is we have one load balancer. So let me very quickly launch this environment. Okay, load balancer. And let's say initially we have only one backend server. It's called web server. Okay, and yesterday what I did, I have write one playbook, and playbook is the one who's configuring this guy as a web server, who configuring this guy as a load balancer. But only one big challenge we faced yesterday is okay, this load balancer we are configuring, okay, by uploading. That's nice, we can upload the file. That's no big challenge, right? But big challenge is before we uploading this file from my controller node that I showed you yesterday, we have to manually go inside the controller node, okay, and update the IP and the configuration of backend server. And here two challenges I told you yesterday. First of all, your playbook guys and who are writing this playbook or running this playbook should know how the config file of HA proxy look like, where to update. Plus, we have to update manually always. Okay, and here the challenge is because this is the file that you have to always update, because right now we have one web server, one more web server come up. Okay, so again you have to go to this conf file, update this. I don't want. I want to create a playbook in such a way, whenever one more new web server come up, automatically file updated, and then they upload it. And even though the guy who is running this playbook, they don't have to aware about which line to update. Like this concept I already explained you yesterday, just I want to summarize one more time. So let me guys show you how we can solve the challenge what I was discussing yesterday. So technically, if you see here, okay, this is the playbook we have created, and right now according to my inventory, let me clean my inventory. So let's say I have one single web server, one single web server. Okay, and maybe first time you have this file to be uploaded, and because you know we have one single web server, let's say 174, so maybe maybe first go you guys might arrive in the last line that we have only one single web server. That's okay, and then we run the playbook the way I run yesterday. This playbook, then we go for those IPs and configure IP. First one as a IP 120 as a load balancer, and and 174 as a web server. Till here is good because there's not so much big or complex environment. But if you want to scale out or want to add one more computer, let's say 155. Okay, if you add this, so so if you want this system to web server, okay, and it but always guys in the Ansible, if you want to add one more computer in the web server, it is a must thing that you have to do always, that you have to tell the control net that one more IP come up. So anybody who know Ansible, they know how to update the inventory. So till here, nothing is complex. But this guy who know Ansible, they don't know how to configure HA proxy file or HA or load balancer file. So I would like to give these guys who are managing Ansible a facility. As soon as you update the inventory, your HA proxy file will automatically get the dynamic information from here. What I mean by this? So right now, guys, if you see here, it failed. 1 minute. This is my IP address. ANB. Let me shut down all of my SC Linux. So I think because of SNS they are failing. Because the discussion I'm doing right now, I've already discussed yesterday in detail. So by chance, if somebody missed the yesterday class, they might not able to link, but I will explain you. I just want to show you very quickly how we can solve that use case that I was discussing yesterday with the help of Jinja. And now if you understand Jinja, now this is so simple to do it. Okay, let me show you. So we know IP 120 is my load balancer. File uploaded, my load balancer everything configured. And according to the file that I upload, my load balancer working on port number 8081. So if I go to my one of my client, if I try to write 120 80 81, so load balancer working good, and this is the file I put yesterday. Okay, but till here is everything good. But if you want to add one more computer, let's say I also want 150 as a web server, maybe because my load increase. So technically as a Ansible developer, you have to update your inventory file and say one more IP come up, and I also want this guy to be 155. And if you update this line, this is the normal inventory file of the Ansible. And after you run this, IP 155 become your web server the way I showed you yesterday. But it is not enough. Okay, we have to update our config file of the load balancer. And how to update? This is the challenge, guys, we have. For updating this, we have to manually go and the control node side to write that respective line. And for this, that control node guys who running the playbook should know about the HA proxy. Maybe they might not know. Okay. Also, plus I don't want to do it manually. Okay. So, so technically, what I'm trying to show you here is if I go to the IP called where is my 1 minute? If I go to IP called 120, okay, and if you see HA proxy file is not updated. Web server is configured. Two more web servers we have, but this file doesn't know that one more IP come up. That's called 155. Okay. Either you update this file the way we did yesterday. Okay. Manually go to this file, update. Or the best way is, what can we do? We can go to this file initially only one time. And what can we do? We know if you have 10 IPs, 10 lines we have to run. Okay, and all the lines, server keyword is fixed, F1 keyword is fixed, check keyword is fixed, colon 80 is fixed. Only thing that will change is IP 174. So if one web server, 174. If two web server, 174, 155 in this example, I talk about this example. Or more IPs come up, you have to keep on adding these lines. So what can we do? Here we can use a concept called for loop. So you guys know how to use for loop. We start with this one and with this one, there's a for loop in, we store in the variable called I. But where this variable come from? And now you guys know already we discussed, right? Because Ansible and the control node, all the inventory stored in a variable called groups. And in the group, they have a key called myweb. And myweb contain all the IPs. So what can I do here? I can use a keyword called groups, and groups has a key called myweb. So if you have two IPs, the loop run 2 times. Okay, and let me close the loop. I already explained, guys, this syntax to you. Now, because this IP group contain 2 IPs, so this loop run 2 times, and they store all the IP in IP variable I. And where to change the IP I variable I here. So wherever you have the IP, use variable I. That's all. Don't give any space here because after IP complete, I don't want to give any space. Continue the call. Because this is the exact thing I all explained in Jinja. So finally, you know what happened? What happened? Whenever you run your playbook, this one, lb.yml. Okay, we upload this file over here, not with the copy module, with the template. And good thing in template module is template module go to every line of this file, and wherever find this syntax or Jinja, they will do something for you. They will run this loop, get this variable from this variable, and do all the things the way I explained to you. Let me start in this way. Let's say initially you have only one inventory. And if you run the playbook, LB, and if you notice, guys, the file that we are uploading now, it is same file, but here in this file we have all the thing variables, and these variable value come from inventory. So this time, okay, this play is configuring 174, but second play, my LB, is configuring HA proxy. Okay, but value of HA proxy they are getting from this play. This play is only working 174. They can retrieve this value dynamically from this inventory file and update and upload in this file. So if you go to IP 120, what you will see, if you go to 120, this is 120. Now if you see HA proxy file has been configured with this line. And guys, this line I haven't write static, it dynamically created. Or in the future, if you think you want to scale out and add one more IP, right? Any of your Ansible user can go. There's a very common thing. They say, I would like to add one more computer. Just type the IP. That's all. They don't have to update any of the conf file or any of the internal files or playbook. That's the only thing we have to do to update the inventory, and just run the playbook. That's all. And automatically your web server configured and that new IP, because we write a play for the web server. See, one IP, the IP 155 has been configured. Plus your 120 also been configured that one more computer come up in the conf file. So without changing anything in the playbook, that's what we want, right? We have to create a playbook in such a way. If some environment change, you don't have to change anything in the playbook. Okay. Plus, if one environment depends on other, the other environment automatically updates. So now if you say guys IP 120 without any change in my playbook, without going to my conf file of the HA proxy, you will see IP 155 also come up. 155 also come up. Okay. And normally guys in the HA proxy, um, if you see F1, F2, so 174 is one of my web server, 155 one of my web server. So normally first web server written with F1, second web server we have to use F2. It's not compulsory to, even though it work, but it's good practice to write one then two. And guys, normally in the loop world, right? For example, in this file, in the in the loop world, if you know normally we set the counter I value 0, 1, 2, 3. So there's one pre-counter available in the Ansible. So if you run the loop first time, they store that one in one variable. Then again second time loop run, second two they store in one variable, then three, then four. So it's like counter normally that you use in the Java language. So what can I do? Instead I write one here, right? I write one more variable. And the value of that variable is is one that contain my counter. Okay, and the name of that variable is, it is again the pre-internal variable of the Ansible is called loop dot index. That's all. So this variable we haven't created is one of the internal variable of the for loop, what it contain. So when loop ran first time, in this variable they write one. So final output will be app one. Then if run loop run second time, that this variable content two. So final output will be app. That's what I want. So it means when I run my playbook again, dynamically go to inventory. Look, Ansible playbook guys who can update this inventory file to add one more computers. Okay, and all those two computers will configure web server. But interesting thing here that we was discussing on, these two IP is automatically updated in the load balancer file. Otherwise, without this, there's no use of that backend web server because load balancer is one who will send the request. So now if you see here in this file, say F1, F2 come up and all the IP come up. And the future, if one more computer come up, just type the IP in the in the only in the uh, database, or I can say inventory. But if you think no, there's no load balancer, or maybe there might possibility, I want 172 for in the maintenance mode. Maybe you have to do some maintenance, have to make it down. Okay, so I have to first we have to shut down this guy. Plus we have to update my load balancer that please update your conf file this down. So for this I can have to just go to my inventory file and say now 174 now not become my backend server. That's all. So now it's a game, guys. Just change in the inventory file and dynamically all of the things. Depending, guys, right now the code is pretty straightforward, very basic, but we can add some more extra thing. But dynamically, okay, changing some in the group will update other group configuration file. That's what I'm trying to show you here. So it's all game of, guys, Jinja. We can apply lots of other things also. After knowing this concept, we can do lots of things. Now, if you guys dynamically updated this file, now web server we always send the traffic to IP155. That's all. Scale in and scale out without changing the code. Or we have to create the code only once. Or in the future, without changing the code, we can do all the things, right? Just with the help of Jinja. Very last thing, it is not so much important, but very last thing, normally the file that you are uploading to the remote system is this one, because this file has some Jinja code. That is a reason this file is also known as template file, or that is a reason We normally use the word key template. Or because this template file, so it is good practice, don't use the file name like this. So you always use the extension called j2. I use mv command to rename. Again, not compulsory till now, even though it's working, but it's good practice to any of the file name, just give the extension to j2. Plus, obviously, because we change the name of the file or add some extension here, j2 means Jinja. So just go to playbook and also update here. Now my source file name is not this one, is .j2. You can give any extension, but it's good practice to tell it is the Jinja template. Okay, that's what I have done. Otherwise, the code is exactly the same the way we used yesterday. So that's all, guys, about Jinja. And there might be some more small concept. 1 minute, I don't know what happened, shut down. So but as well as we when we in the future, whenever we require, we'll discuss, but at least you get the idea of Jinja, and the use case that we was discussing about is been solved. That's all, guys, for today. Next class, guys, again, we have class from Tuesday to Friday, so we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye, take care, see you. Any questions, any query, if you have, you guys can ask me. Can we create our own variable in a file other than playbook? Yes, man. You can create a variable uh, uh, in other file also. I think some of the example I'll also show you. Okay, I'll also show you. We can create a file in other way also. I'll take some example for this. Maybe some of the example we have. Subhas's init is a command in Linux. It is the first process of the Linux that will manage or handle other processes. Pankaj, one of the web UI of Ansible is Ansible Tower. I don't think so. We'll discuss the tower here. Domnil, don't worry. Maybe it look like maybe a little faster, but similar concept will come and repeat multiple time. So when same concept come again one more or two more time, you will link it, and that time you will comfortable with those concepts, right? I think our speed is good. Okay, I'm just going with a not so much fast speed. I think you're talking about the earth perspective. Okay, because normally we are new in this technological in this concepts, so it look like complex, but don't worry, we'll keep on discussing same thing. Can we automate everything? Somebody asking, Balwinder asked me with 0% manual task. Is depend, Balwinder, uh, context to context or use case to use case. But yeah, if use case is very generalized, maybe complex but very generalized, yes, we can go for 100% automation. But for this, you have to add some more extra tool like Jenkins or maybe some extra tools to make everything 100% automated. Sometimes it is also known as end-to-end automation, right? Sometimes. No, Sobit, Sama, what you write, you're saying something like if you're taking the help from official documentation, right, to solve my challenges, so it is treated like a copying something, right? No, don't think in this way. It's not think in this way. If you're not copying the solution, right, you're not copying the solution, right? So we have some challenge. We are solving those challenges, but if you're using somebody tool, okay, again, Windows is also a tool, right? Your mobile Android is a tool. So let's say if you use Windows first time, how you know how Windows work? You take the help from the guy who created the Windows, right? And for this, you have to use some of the document by the Windows and how Windows to be used. So that is not a copying or cheating, right? So same way we are doing here. So Ansible created by somebody, and uh, which keyword they use, which option they use. They use copy or copying or service or services. How I know? Nobody know, right? So we take the document, check the keyword, and accordingly we use a code to solve our challenge, our use cases. Okay. And there's a way it work, right? So if you think in any of the angle, right, if you use somebody's tool that every time we have to use, right, we can't create again the entire OS. There's no meaning of this. OS already created, right? Tool already created. But yeah, some of the tool won't be enough for something. Then in those cases, that time you can come up with their own tool. There's a different point altogether. So, Nikhil, what you asked me, RC.local or dot base RC? If you ask me the same question again in my Earth class, in next class, I will explain to everyone. Okay, Gagandeep say Amit Sharma is one of the best on Earth. Is great. If somebody is talking, somebody is very nice. I use EX29 for exam for all. I don't know. I use are you from? I think from Earth. So I think in the Earth we have two options, right? A or B option, something like this. So I think it's been already clear in the Earth. We have already announced. So if you are part of option B, so we are sponsoring huge amount for you guys in the examination. Yes, Vamsi, we have more use for Jinja template. Today we cover Jinja, but you'll see in the future there are a lot of we keep on using Jinja a lot in the future classes. Yes, Abhishek, we have we can run playbook, entire playbook. There's a lot of example come up in the future. No, Depanshu, I was that time very clear. He can copy data from the RAM, but normally I mean to say, when you say the word clone or commit, that word means we have to technically internally we are copying the data from storage to storage. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you can't copy data from the RAM memory. We have a way we can dump the RAM and memory also. No, Suyog.j2 extension is not compulsory to use. Can we now register? Siva asked me for the exam or boot camp. Siva, can you, if you ask in your respective group, your success, learn a success set, they will update you what would be the possibility to register in the examination. Akash, I'm putting my code in my Google Drive. I think Google Drive, everybody has the link. I'm not uploading the entire code. I'm taking the screenshot like this that you see here in this main doc. So all of my code you can see per day basis I'm getting doc, and I keep on posting my code like this. Harshita, the variable that we are creating in the playbook, it is like a global variable. Means if you create a variable in one file, you can use same variable in other file also by including. And this is one of the example I show you in my initial classes. But this topic of variable is again come when I go for a topic called a rule. I will again explain you. So, Rasari, yes, you can create the entire project of using the answer, but depend which project you're talking about. If your project contain the configurations, answer yes, you can. Can we take the RSC examination? Rahul, maybe you can ask in your respective group. Your success head will update you if what is the process for this. By chance, I'm not getting the recording. Anupam, maybe there might be possibility. Okay, so I will update my team and check your name, and they will provide you the recording if you miss something. Don't worry. How to kill the zombie process, Gyan. I think in a kill command, we have some kind of signal. If you go to manual of the kill, I don't remember the signal name, like, or I can say option. Uh, in the PS command, you can find, or the top command, you can find the zombie process name, and some way we have to uh, prune or kill it. In the kill command, we have some option I use somewhere. I forgot, but answer is yes, you can do. Just go and read PS or kill command manual. You can find. Otherwise, again update me. I'll again check for you and give you the answer. Yes, Buddhi Prakash, we have a small discussion on command and shell module. We have some small use case for this. I will explain you the difference. Command module, I'll always explain you, but shell also look like command module, but there's small difference we have. Venkatesh, in what you asked me, so in your inventory file, you have other keyword also like Ansible connection, Ansible pass, but this group options only store your IP information. Okay, so they only store your IP information. They don't store the password and user information in the variable. So that's all, guys. There might be again some more query. It will be discussed in the upcoming classes, guys. So see you guys on Tuesday for the Ansible. Bye. Take care, guys. See you. Good day. Good night.